Hello, you little YouTubers. Here's your friend, Velma Hagar. And I'm in my cozy chair, even though I'm not allowed to sit here until 2:30 or 3. But you know what? Today I had a little headache, and I thought, you know what? I'm sitting in my cozy chair early. Here's looking at you, kid. And look at this darling little cup. It's got birds on it. I love birds. My whole house is done with birds. Birds, seashells, and cherubs is my theme. Okay, you guys, I got some important stuff to talk about. But first of all, here's looking at you, kid. Look how you can see through this china. It's bone china. Isn't it beautiful? Mm-hmm. And I bought this for myself. Many of the pretty things in my house are gifts from people. I have so many gifts when I look around. But this, Velma bought for herself. Mm-hmm. Mm. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is I want you to hit subscribe. Because, you know, I'm still chugging along, but I'm doing okay. And I'm pretty happy with you guys. Yeah, I have some really good followers. I have some of you that just are so faithful. It blesses my soul. I'm kind of choking myself. You bless. Not good. Anyway, and I've had allergies. Oh my gosh, my eyes have been scrunched. But you know what? I'm going to keep moving. As long as I can, I'm going to keep going, and you should too. Make that commitment to yourself. Okay, we're going to talk about something today that I think is just every single person is going to relate to it. There is a scripture in the Bible that says that God will restore the years the cankerworms have eaten. Now, when he talks about that, you know, there was a time in history when cankerworms took over our country and just ate all the crops, ate everything, destroyed everything in its wake. They said that they even ate the clothes off the people. They ate everything that wasn't pinned down, destroyed everything. So, you know, in our lives, I'm sure that we all have something we can relate to in that area. When you tell me you're going to restore the years the cankerworms have eaten, I know I stop and think, what is it in my life that was eaten by cankerworms? Where my life was just kind of destroyed, it seemed like. And for me, you know, my childhood, for one thing, you know, my childhood, because of the fear of my dad, I didn't have much of a childhood. It was based on fear. It was rooted in fear. I was afraid of everything. Afraid my dad was going to kill my mom. Afraid my dad was going to come home drunk, and just all kinds of things. So basically, there was a destruction that the cankerworms ate. But then, more recent in my life, I would have to say that it was when my husband left me with 3 children, and he ran off with another woman. Oh my gosh. That created so many things that I see today that have not been restored, really, you know? And so for me, the years the cankerworms have eaten would be my years of divorce. There was a 6-year period after Bob left that I went out in the world, ran around the bars, tried to get even with him, did all kinds of things wrong, consequently created some issues with my youngest son, who had a little problem with me that he carried for years. And I feel today it's worked out, of course, but I'm 80, so yeah, it finally worked out. And then there was just all kinds of little issues with the finances, with my oldest son not being able to go to college, had to do it so slow, the hard way, and just all kinds of things. So for me, it's the years that the cankerworms ate after my divorce. I want you to stop. Or even if you know, try to think of it even as I'm talking. Where in your life was there a destruction because of things that went wrong, the years the cankerworms ate, so to speak? And then I want to couple that with this. God says, bring me in remembrance of my word. So we're going to find out where your issue is. And then we're going to say, God, you say that you will restore the years the cankerworms have eaten. And I ask you to do that now. I want you to pray that prayer. I want you to call out to God. I want you to say, God, show me what has been lost because of something. I mean, I don't think God needs to show you that. I think you can do that on your own. But then ask God to restore those years. Now, for me, and looking back, because when Bob left, I still loved him. Can you imagine the hurt of a 35-year-old woman with 3 kids, and the man she loves runs off with another woman and leaves her with no child support? I mean, it was irreparable. My heart was broken. It was literally broken. And I remember getting in the closet, and I didn't want to come out. I was in there just sobbing. And my girlfriend came in there, and she just slapped me, and she said, you got to wake up, shape up. You got 3 kids out there that are scared. You got to get up. And so I did. I got up, and I went forward. And you know what? God blessed me. He did. And when I look back now, I would say there was one place he did restore the years the cankerworms ate there. He brought me Phil Otterman when I was 59, so it was 25 years later. But the best doggone sweet marriage anybody could ever have. So I did get that part restored. And I often said, I'm so glad Bob left, because if he wouldn't have left, I would have never had Phil. So, I could see that he did restore that. And he restored the finances. I mean, I've ended up doing great by myself financially, even though I struggled and, So, but then I'm 80, so I can look back now and see where God did do restoration. And I always longed for a daddy. Oh my God, I longed for a daddy in my life because I never really had one. I see people with their daddy and I'm like, oh, I wish I had a daddy, even as old as I am now. But you know what? Nobody's got a closer relationship with their daddy in heaven than this girl. So God restored that to me too, So with that said, I can almost say to you, at my age, that God has restored the years the cankerworms ate from me. But what about you? Have you got things that you feel you were cheated out of, or that happened in your life that you need God to restore it? Remind him of what he said. He says, bring me in remembrance of my word. Stop and say, God, you know what? Cankerworms ate that in my life, and I'm asking you to bring it back. Give it back to me. Restore that to me, Lord. I don't care if it's financial, physical, spiritual, emotional, in your relationships. I don't care what it was. God didn't put any restrictions on what it was. He just said, I will restore the years the cankerworms have eaten. That's a pretty good promise. That is a doggone good promise. And the only reason why you haven't seen the I mean, the only reason you haven't seen the results of it in your life is because you haven't asked. You have not because you ask not. If you would put all of God's scriptures together, and you'd see the picture that it makes a beautiful puzzle, picture puzzle. But you don't just take the time. None of us do it. I don't even do it perfectly right. I do it better than you, though. I'll bet you I do it better than you. Putting together those pieces in that Bible, finding those hidden treasures in secret, dark places. How'd you like the way I threw that little commercial in? Buy my book, Hidden Treasures in Secret Places, and Hidden Treasures in Dark Places, because you know what? Those treasures are throughout the Bible, and this that I'm giving you right now is a hidden treasure. Restore the years the cankerworms have eaten. Wow. Aren't I good? The headache went right away. Okay, well, hey, I make the best doggone coffee in the world. All right, I've probably blabbered enough. It's almost 10 minutes, but this was a good one. You guys needed to hear this one, okay? Now, subscribe, hit the like button, hit all the buttons. My son's always saying, stop hitting the buttons, Mom. I'm always hitting buttons, you know. All right, now, and happy birthday to my son today. He's 59, my Eric. You know, you guys, oh, that's another thing. God gave me that mother-son relationship that made up for my father-daughter relationship. I mean, I have a relationship with my son like nobody. I mean, gosh, he's my confidant. He's just, I adore him, and he adores me. And that means so much to me. So, you know, yes, I didn't have the daddy, but yes, I had the son. You know, it's like, if you stop and look, don't miss where God does it either. Don't miss it. He restores it, and then you don't notice it because you're busy going, I didn't have a daddy, but what about your son, huh? And then like my son-in-law, he had a horrible dad. But you know what? He has a great relationship with his son. So he does have a father-son relationship now, even though he's the father. You know what I mean? God reversed it. But anyway, don't miss what God does for you. And then say thank you. I got to go. 11 minutes. You guys are never staying to the end on this one. I know that. All right, you guys, until next time. This is your friend, Velma Hagar, bidding you a blessed day. Tell God to restore the years the cankerworms have eaten. He'll do it. Bye.